The superpower that every citizen has is the ability to control where they spend their time, money, and attention. By focusing these on supporting local businesses, you are having a profound impact on your friends, your family, and your local community. So if you want to change the world, you can start with buying local.
Welcome to I'm In With the ARCC. Thanks for joining us today. I am here with Mike Nelson. He's here representing two businesses. We're going to try to figure this out.
Well, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I know I gave you an agenda to kind of review, and
yes,
we have a lot to cover. So, but you're here representing Five Towers Media,
yes,
and Glens Falls Today.
That's correct.
And I thought maybe we'd try to split the show in half.
Yeah.
Do Five Towers Media first,
sure.
Glens Falls Today, round it out real nice.
Absolutely.
You know, you're no stranger to the chamber. We've known each other a long time.
Yeah.
I've never had you on this radio show, right?
No.
Okay.
This is my first time. I'm very excited about this.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been on the radio before, but just
right.
not with you.
Not
here.
Wow.
Not in this. Yeah, I know.
Mark this date down.
Wow.
This is, yeah.
I would actually like to apologize to the listeners ahead of time for the next 24 minutes of their lives. So if they stay with me that long.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. We have a lot to cover. So first and foremost, let's start with what is Five Towers Media?
Five Towers Media. Yeah, so that's a great question, Amanda.
You guys do so much, so I'm hoping
we do.
Let's encapsulate it into something here.
Yeah, so Five Towers Media, realistically, we do, I think it's five things, right?
Okay.
That's why we call it Five Towers.
Sure, yeah.
I'll see if I can remember all five of the things without looking. So, you know, we started out basically, we were a marketing agency, a digital agency for that matter. And then when we came out of 2020, there was just a lot of things that we needed to change. I mean, marketing in general, if you're still doing marketing the way that you did it in 2019, then you're probably in big trouble, right?
Sure.
So it's changed so much.
Everything
I mean, I know you
has
see
changed.
that, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's so when we were coming through 2020 and trying to figure out like what does the future look like for marketing and for us as a company, because we were under a different banner at that point, and we realized that we had to make some serious changes and some pivots, and amongst those was not being so social media centric.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and you know, if for the 8 people that have read my article in our recent publication called "Social Media Has Left the Building," you know, it's changed so drastically, and it just is not giving the return that it used to give. So, and we were previous to 2009 or 2020, we were so social media centric as an organization, as an agency.
Yeah, most businesses were. Yeah.
And so, you know, the value for clients to pay us money, like I tell people now, I'm like, do not pay us or anyone else to do social media.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for any social media companies out there, but it's just, and I say it kind of tongue in cheek though, but the rule of thumb is the reason why people pay us to do social media, because some of our clients still do, is not because they can't do it themselves. It's just mainly because they don't want to.
Yeah.
But realistically, a company like ours or any social media company really isn't going to get you different results because you're just such a slave to the algorithm these days. So
Sure.
So to kind of skip forward, right, because we're limited on time and hopefully everybody's still awake, but so we had to figure out like what marketing was going to look like.
Yeah.
And what we came to realize was that marketing was really going to be something that you had to have not even a multi-pronged approach, but you really need to do a lot of different things these days in order to, you know, between SEO and your website and where to get found in the digital arena. And then there's also still all the things like radio and newspaper and all that. So we were trying to find ways to encompass that. And then also the addition of podcasts, which to me, like I say all the time, like I think podcasts are the new social media.
Yeah.
And so it's starting to encompass so much more than just being a digital agency. And so we ended up just adding all these things, right?
Yeah.
And now we have newspapers and magazines that we do like real in print, and also online. Of course, everything still needs a digital
100%,
footprint as well, right? So we do all the marketing stuff, we do the email stuff, and we still do social media, and we do the digital ads, and we do a lot of content creation. So we do a lot of photo services, a lot of video services. And, you know, then there's the communications and PR stuff that we do through the newspapers and magazines and websites. And, you know, it goes on and on and on. So when it came down to do the rebrand, which we just did recently, the reason why we went with media is just because we do so many different things
It
across
kind of
so many.
encompasses
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
So that's the long of it, I guess.
No, that's perfect. And
So.
and I think what I read on your website is you're flexible when you work with your clients. It's not an all or nothing approach. It's
Yeah.
what do you need help with?
Yeah.
And let's piece it together and figure it out for you. And maybe that's not how all agencies work.
I guess it depends. And I hate to speak for all agencies, but I know for us, our mission realistically is to amplify the voice of small businesses in our local community.
Nice.
Like that's what our mission is, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's who we care about. That's what we want to do. We're not like some agencies really want to work, like the finger paints of the world that are doing the big pharma stuff. Like
Sure.
that's not what we're trying to do.
Right. You found your niche.
Yeah,
It's
and
small
and who
business,
we who we care about and who we are passionate about, and really we just feel that. And if you listen to my Buying Local podcast, you hear in the opening of the show that we just feel that the best way to fix the world
Yeah.
is to focus on our local communities and
100%.
to strengthen them. So
Yeah.
so everything we do is about that small business owner, the solo entrepreneur, up to, we have some clients that are doing, maybe $1 million or $2 million a year, but that's like a big client for us, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So it's really just, we just want to support small business owners and give them what they need. So when
I
we
love
work
that.
with clients, it really comes down to, we have a few different ways that we work with them.
Yeah.
But everything ends up customized because first of all, when you're in the marketing realm, right? Like everything starts with target market. So depending on who your target market is, that will tell us some things. And then there's also your budget, how much money you have to work with,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like I say when I talk to people about like Glens Falls Today, that advertising is the fuel that makes the engine go, but we want to make sure everyone's got a seat in the bus, right? And so we offer a
okay.
lot of things, whether it's freemium type products where we're just doing free communications. We bring you on podcasts, write articles on you to help get the message out
Sure,
about you, especially
sure.
when you're a new business and you don't have a lot of money.
Right.
And then we go all the way up to, we have some clients that we do packages, and we do a lot of things with a product that we created called Time Banks. It's basically we stole it from the IT industry.
Okay.
And
Or borrowed.
I'm sorry, no,
whatever.
we didn't steal it. It's research. What is it? Rip off and duplicate, right?
Oh, okay.
Yes, R&D. So we basically everything's customized
Yeah.
based on who your target market is and what your budget is. So.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. So when you begin working with someone who's interested in working with you, there's like a discovery phase, right? Where
Oh, yeah.
you got to get to know their business, their
Yep.
wants, their needs.
Yep.
Maybe they come to you and they don't have a clue what they want or
Right,
need,
right.
But in that discovery phase, if you will,
Yeah.
you get to know them and you're like, you know what? I think this is going to work for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it evolves too, right?
It changes all the time, and that's
Yeah.
one of the reasons why we. One of the good things that 2020 did for us was it gave us the ability, because when we walked into 2020, our whole business was built off what most marketing companies do, which is the monthly retainer, right? So it's that flat monthly fee. You're going to
Yep.
get charged every month, and there's a set scope of work. But the challenge is that what you need changes on a week-to-week basis, and the
Yeah.
environment changes. Like the digital universe from a marketing standpoint changes every day.
Sure.
So like what worked yesterday doesn't work today. And so
Right.
when you start signing a 12-month contract for $1,000 a month or whatever it is, it's 3 months from now, more than likely, like that scope of work has changed.
Absolutely.
So we really wanted the ability to become more agile
Okay.
and fluid and be able to change what we're doing for our clients and just make sure that they're always seeing value in the services that we're providing. So the changes that we made moving away from that flat monthly fee towards the time bank system that we have now really helped to change that. So.
Sure. I mean, we live in a region where a lot of businesses are seasonal, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
And their needs are going to change from season to season, maybe
Yeah.
sometimes month to month.
Or they just don't need marketing for 4 or 5 months out of the year.
Right, exactly.
So our system really works very well with those kinds of
Yeah,
folks.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I'd say that probably kind of sets you apart from some of the agencies in our area.
in some ways. It's funny what I tell people when they ask me, because, every once in a while we get like a call from someone that's in like another state, and they're talking to us about marketing, or even someone that like maybe they're down in New York City or they're, more of a metropolitan area, and they ask us that question, right? Well,
Sure.
I'm talking to 5 or 6 marketing companies, and what makes you different? And I just tell them like, well, realistically, if you're someone that is marketing nationally, we're just like every other agency out there. There really is no difference, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that we're all creatives and we love to say that, like, oh, well, wait,
Right.
there's no difference. We're going to do the same things, right? Like, we're going to do the same 12 or 15 things that you need for marketing. When it comes to a local level, though, which is really where that's our time to shine, is we have newspapers and magazines and podcasts, and we have a whole audience that we have developed on a regional level when you look at Warren, Washington, and Saratoga County.
Sure.
So what I say, like, if you are looking to market across New York State or across the country, we may not be the best agency. We don't really have a way to stand out, right? Other than maybe our pricing's a little cheaper than some of those agencies.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Warren, Washington, and Saratoga counties, like, I think we are the agency because we have things at our disposal that no one else does, and we can do them for free or give you huge discounts that other people may not be able to take
and
advantage
this is
of.
your community.
Yeah. And we care about it.
Yeah, this is where you live. This is where you shop, where you work, where you do all your things.
Absolutely.
So you understand the community. You're passionate about it.
Our people live here. They work here. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's a good way to put it. I like that.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, of course. Before we take a break and talk about Glens Falls Today,
Yes.
I know this question is technically near the end of the agenda, but I'm switching it up on you.
Mix it up.
So AI content.
Yes.
It's a hot topic for some people right now.
it's huge.
I'm ignoring it personally because it's not that I'm afraid of like the Matrix type thing to happen, but
Maybe you should be.
or maybe I am. I don't know. But like, what are your thoughts on that? Because as a business that creates content for other businesses, are you guys using it? You're thinking of using it? You hate it? You think it's a fad? What are your thoughts?
So, without putting my tinfoil hat on.
Yeah, we didn't bring our tinfoil hats
I left it in
today.
the car.
Yeah, I'm
know
glad
it.
you did. Yeah, no worries.
So, AI is a thing. Here's the thing. Like, everyone is talking about it.
Sure.
It's the big buzzword right now. Like, well, I think it's hilarious that like 6 months ago, you didn't really hear anyone talk about AI.
Right.
And now everything, AI.
Yeah.
AI. And here, the reality of the situation is that AI has been built into a lot of programmatic ads and things like Facebook and Google and all that stuff. Like that's been happening. So that's not new. As far as content creation with AI, I vehemently say no to AI. It just because I am a creator and I believe that the creative process is not something that can be replicated.
Right.
I'm not saying that you can't take a photo on your cell phone and throw it into one of these little apps and it does some cool stuff to it, which
that's
by
fun.
the way, it's ripping off from actual real human creators.
I know.
It's pulling that stuff
Real
from the internet.
artists.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
So, and they're doing movie trailers and all this other stuff now with AI and I think it's not for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not saying that, in some cases we don't have a choice to use it.
Yeah.
Whether it's because of Google or Facebook or any of those things. But I know that we will not be building the future of our agency around AI.
Okay.
And that we'll continue to have real humans doing the work.
I like that, especially, again, with local
that's what we
community
care about.
businesses. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to trust that to AI?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and again, if you're using ChatGPT right now for any of your stuff, you'll know that not everything that it says is actual true or based in reality. It's pulling things from the internet.
Yeah. Which we all know you can't believe everything on the internet.
Apparently. I think Abraham Lincoln said that, right?
He did.
I think I saw that meme.
Yeah.
So
I forgot about that. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a quote from Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Don't believe everything you read on the internet.
On the internet, yeah. So.
Oh man, I'm sorry. That tickled me. That was good. Okay. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on that.
Absolutely.
I agree with you. I think
you know that I'm never short on giving my opinion about anything.
You're a straight shooter.
Well, I guess.
And you left your tinfoil hat in the car.
I did. Next time.
Good work. Yeah, maybe
I'll wear it.
Maybe next time.
Talk about all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. All right. We got to take a quick break.
Excellent.
And we'll be right back on I'm In with the ARCC.
SkyZone Trampoline Park, Queensbury. SkyZone can set you up with a great birthday party for your kids and less hassle for all of you parents. They also offer general admission tickets and memberships with exclusive discounts and access to member-only events.
And we're back. Thanks again for listening to I'm In with the ARCC, sponsored by StoredTech, your technology, our passion. And I'm here with the one and only Mike Nelson. You are the only Mike Nelson I've ever met in my life, so that's a true statement.
Because I think there's 3 or 4 of us just in the local area.
Well, I've never met them, and I don't care to, for the record. And if you're listening, I'm sorry, but this is the only Mike Nelson. Okay.
There's a bunch of us.
There's a bunch
There used to be a Mike Nelson Day.
No.
So back when I was a kid, I think I was like 13. My grandparents had given me a newspaper clipping about this whole Mike Nelson Day.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because it's like John Smith. You know what I mean? Like it's a very common name.
It's a common name.
Yeah, and there was like, and we're talking like late 80s, early 90s.
Sure.
And there was like Mike Nelson apparel, and
No.
Kid you not?
I mean, I've traveled the world because of the military background thing. I've never met a Mike Nelson.
That's
ever.
hilarious because there's a lot of us. I mean, again, there's like 3 or 4.
I mean, obviously, it is
just
a common
in this
name.
Tri-County area.
Oh my goodness! All right. Well, happy Mike Nelson Day, I guess, or whenever that
today,
is.
Officially, right?
It's I love it. I love it. All right, let's talk about Glens Falls today.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, what is it exactly? Your tagline is awesome. It's free news for free people.
That's right.
What does that mean?
So, it really comes down to some of the fundamental beliefs that we have about the flow of information. And, so we believe that information should be free, right? Like you shouldn't have to pay to know what's going on around you or what's going on in the world, right?
Sure.
And unfortunately, in today's digital age, so much news is hidden behind paywalls.
Yes.
And I just don't agree.
Yeah.
I don't think, nothing makes me crazier than when I click on a news link and then I go to the article and it says that I need to sign up for a subscription in order to read that article. And it kills me.
Yeah.
So that's the first part, is it needs to be, you shouldn't have to pay for it.
Right.
And then the other part of it too is, I think that 2020 really was the, I don't know if catalyst is the right word, but it really just kind of made it to where we needed to do something about this, was that it needs to be free of opinion, free of bias, right? So I don't care what anyone's political viewpoints are or beliefs. That's something that we are not interested in.
Okay.
So when we are writing articles, we are trying very hard to make sure that there is none of my personal beliefs or opinions creep into anything that I write, that it's based on information.
Yep.
And same thing with our reporters. And this is something, we all the time when we're having discussion about articles that we're going to write, and I'm just saying hey, you can tell when I talk about certain things that I have an opinion about them.
Sure.
And so when I'm talking to my reporter about that subject, I'm like, listen, I know you can hear where I stand on this. I don't want that in the article.
Yes.
And I also
just the facts.
Correct. And I don't if I'm for something, I don't want you to write an article for it. If I'm against it, I don't want you to write against it. We need to just be given the information, and we all have this amazing power of discernment.
Yeah.
And we can figure it out for ourselves and make our own decisions. We don't need to be told what to think.
Yeah.
So free news, that's really what that means, right?
I love it. I love it.
And then for free people, again, it's the craziest thing to me, but now it's become political now to say that you love America or to have a flag in your yard has become political, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I'm sorry, that's just who we are. I love this country. I love the idea of America and what it's about. And I feel that there's a lot of people that share that. And so that's who we're writing for, is we're writing for people that, and we did a video about this where, the people we're writing for probably have a flag in their front yard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They still love America. They still put their hand on their heart at a hockey game.
Right.
And you know what I mean? So
Yep.
it's that's who we're writing for, is free people of this country. So
Nice. And the content varies, right? It's business focused, but it's locally focused.
So we almost everything these days ties back to business in some fashion.
Of course, that's how the world goes around.
Right. And again, our mission is to really amplify the voice of small business owners. So a lot of what we write is business focused or about a business owner or about something that they have going on. But, we're also still trying to do our best with the very small staff that we have to, cover local sports and, make sure that we have obituaries going out and just all those different things that are happening in the community.
Sure.
We just want to make sure that we're including that stuff too.
Absolutely.
So.
And you've got a great focus on veterans in our area with
100%.
a podcast, also regular articles that we're seeing. Yeah. It's really cool.
Veterans are a big part of our local community.
Absolutely.
And I think you and I have talked about this, or I've talked about with someone about this recently, but there's a lot of organizations that support veterans, but I still feel like they're under-supported, right? And so it's we just want to make sure that we can help people that have made sacrifices for us, that, have in some cases like have been injured in the line of duty, and so it's just we're not going to give more or less weight because you're a veteran, but we're going to make sure that again everyone's got a seat on the bus.
Yeah,
and
they all have a story to share, right?
Absolutely, great stories, amazing stories. When we started the Faces of Veterans podcast, Steve Willett and I were talking about it, and I was like, I don't know if there's a single veteran out there that doesn't have at least one great story that they can tell on a podcast.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we're trying to serve the veterans community as much as we can. We same thing with blue collar. So we've got a podcast called Blue Collar Startup, and that's to kind of educate and empower the next generation of blue collar business owners and entrepreneurs. And then of course there's the Buying Local podcast, and that's again just trying to support local business as much as we can.
Good golly, Mike, when do you sleep?
Between the hours of midnight and 4 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I love you. You knew it too. You're like, that's my bedtime.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot going on, but I love it. I love podcasts, and I'm not just saying that because I'm on the radio and that eventually this gets saved and put on the interwebs, but I do love podcasts.
Me too.
And the fact that it's all local, it's about local people, local veterans, local business owners. It's awesome.
There's enough stuff out there about Hollywood and
about all the things,
our politicians, right? And all the stuff, right? Like we don't need more of that.
No.
We need to hear about the people that are living next door to us that we didn't know owned that business.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean? Like we need to know
stories.
about that stuff. It's if we support our friends, our neighbors, and we're buying local, then we're making our community stronger. We're keeping resources here.
Yeah.
When you buy from box stores, unfortunately, a lot of the resources leave the area, and that actually over time just makes your local community poorer.
Sure. And you're hosting all these podcasts by yourself, right?
So no, I have a co-host. So Buying Local, actually, we typically will have some of our community partners co-host with us. And then we, on Blue Collar Startup, Derek Foster from Dago Cleaning and Care Clean of Saratoga, he's actually the founder and visionary of that project. I'm really his co-host.
Oh, yes. I see. Oh,
yes. So that was his idea, and it was a great idea. I was lucky that he asked me to be involved in it.
Yeah.
And then Faces of Veterans is modeled after Stephen Willett's photography project that he does.
Yeah.
And, he's had that photography project, and I just thought that it would be such an amazing podcast. And we don't record as much as we'd like on that one, but we're trying to just keep it moving. And,
you're getting there.
Yeah,
you're getting there. You got a lot on your plate.
We got a lot going on, yes. So is Stephen, because he's got twins now. So
good golly.
Yeah,
okay.
He's a great guy. I don't know if you know Steve or not, but
no, I got to meet him.
Everyone should know Steve.
Yes, absolutely. So between Five Towers Media and Glens Falls Today, you got a lot going on. Glens Falls Today is digital, but also you have a print product.
Yes, we have a quarterly product right now. We are going to be moving to monthly very soon.
And I don't want to fangirl or anything, but when I got the last issue, I don't know, I got all weird. It was so crazy that Ava, my coworker, was like, "Are you okay? You're like nerding out over there." Because every time I turned the page, I was like, "This is awesome!" And she's
Thank
like,
you.
"Yeah, you're welcome." But it's good quality content about local people.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Thank
so
you.
I'm just giving you props.
No, I appreciate
totally
that.
fangirling on you.
No, that's all right. We'll take it.
And print's not easy.
No, print's not easy, but it's, I'll tell you, but it's still very, very, it's still valid.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are like, oh, print. I'm like, yeah, no, people.
It's still a thing.
It's still a thing.
Some people like to hold that paper in their hands, drinking their coffee.
Touch it, feel it.
Yes.
Get it in your hands.
Yes. It's still a thing.
It's still a thing.
So, all right. Well done on that. We are running short on time. I knew this was going to happen. So I was going to ask if you had any words of wisdom, but you don't have to share your words of wisdom.
Buy local.
Buy local. Yes.
That's it.
So
join the chamber.
Join the chamber. Buy local.
That's right.
Love that.
Yeah.
You're awesome. All right. So, but if we want to learn more about Five Towers Media, where can we go?
So you can, our websites are probably the best resources. We have fivetowersmedia.us is our company website, and then we obviously have glensfallstoday.com. And then we also cover Saratoga a little stronger with SaratogaBusinessReport.com and SaratogaBride.com. We have some bridal stuff that we do, and
oh my gosh,
we've got more stuff coming out of the gate.
We meet often enough, but I learn something new every time. So
and
wonderful.
BlueCollarStartup.io.
Okay.
That's where that podcast is. So.
Perfect.
Check it out.
And I've been to your websites. They're great. Everything's linked out.
Thank
podcasts,
you.
all the things.
We have a great team that does all that stuff.
Yeah. Lot of work.
Yeah.
And then I know social isn't your favorite thing these days, but you guys are on social media.
Yes. We are on social. Again, I have a great team that does that. I even have them doing my personal Facebook now. So
See,
if you're
there you
friends with
go.
me on Facebook and you think it's me posting, it's
not you.
No, it's Sammy.
Wonderful.
She's amazing.
She is amazing.
Yep.
And clearly busy. So yeah, awesome. You're the best. I hate social.
I do.
Hey, listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
That's right. That's right.
I would agree with you that social media is tough sometimes.
Yes.
Not my favorite thing either, but it is a tool that we are using the best we can, the best we know how, until we have to pivot to something else, and that's it. So cool. All right. Well, listen, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we got a lot in, and I'm very proud of us for that.
I think we went pretty quickly. Yeah,
we did good. So I appreciate you being here, telling us all about your businesses.
Thanks for having me. And
absolutely.
Again, sorry to the audience.
No, we're all good. We're all good. All good things here. All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today on I'm In With the ARCC. Make sure you check out Glens Falls Today.
Yes, please.
And 5 Towers Media, all the things. And yeah, make sure to tune in next week.
The superpower that every citizen has is the ability to control where they spend their time, money, and attention. By focusing these on supporting local businesses, you are having a profound impact on your friends, your family, and your local community. So if you want to change the world, you can start with buying local.